Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm super excited because I'm finishing up like a 5-day trip to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's been great weather in like the 50s and 60s most of the days, so at night it gets a little chilly but not super bad. So I've not been bringing my diesel heater or anything like that. Instead I got this Zonli rechargeable heated blanket. This thing is super awesome. I love it because it's super simple. It folds down and it comes with this nice carrying bag too, and all the stuff, the electrical stuff, the extra battery and stuff go in a side pocket with it too. So I can just grab this and go. So if you want to hear more about a great option outside of something like a diesel heater or things like that, if you're looking for a way to keep more than one person warm or just a way to have some convenience and comfort when you're out camping or overlanding, stay tuned to learn more about this Zonli blanket.
You got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
Alright guys, so as I mentioned in the intro, today I'm talking about this Zonli heated blanket. This thing's awesome, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. There are a few reasons. So let's go through everything that comes with the Zonli heated blanket. I'm going to kind of walk you through everything. I'm going to talk about the features and stuff. So if you are looking at heated blankets, hopefully this will be helpful for you to kind of make a decision and decide on one that works for you. Because I personally think this is one of the nicest, most optioned out features-wise heated blankets that I've ever seen or used. So let's dive into it a little bit more in detail. Alright guys, so let's talk about what you get with the Zonli heated blanket. Again, you get this really nice bag, and it's got a shoulder strap, so it makes carrying it really easy. It's got these, sewed on handles on the side, so you don't have to worry about clips and all that stuff that you normally would with a lot of these types of bags. The quality of the bag is really nice too. It's shaped specifically to hold the blanket. It actually makes putting the blanket in here really, really easy. What I do is I basically fold it down until it's about this width, and then I roll it, sort of like a sleeping bag or something, and then it fits right down in here. Another thing is that a lot of the times they make these bags way too tight, and once you take the thing out, it's really hard to get it back in. With this, they made it plenty big, so it's actually got plenty of room in there, and it's really easy to get the blanket back in, which I really like. So you've got your main zipper here, and in there is where you store the heated blanket itself, but then it also has this like waterproof side pocket. So you notice it's like plastic lined here, so it's not going to, it's going to keep your electronics dry and separate from the heated blanket if it got wet or something like that. But here's what all you get. It was a little bit tricky to figure out how to get the blanket to turn on initially, but I'm going to show you the trick of that. It's actually not that hard. It does say it in the book, but I had to read it a couple times, and I was experimenting with it, and I wasn't able to get it, and then I finally figured it out. So I'm going to show you that. But so it does come with a battery pack, which is really nice, and you can use this as a recharging option too. So it has a USB-C for input, and then it has a USB-A for output. But you could use this just to plug stuff into like your phone or whatever and use it to charge things. Then it's got this cord that comes out of it that gives you some room. So if you wanted to set this out beside your bed or something and then power it from the battery pack, you could do that. But then this plugs into the actual blanket itself, and I'll show you where that is as well, because I had to find where the pocket was. The battery, in my experience, lasts for about 5 or 6 hours. So not a super long time, but you could turn it on and then go to sleep and turn it off before you go to sleep. And if you get cold in the middle of the night, you could flip it back on, but you don't have to have a power bank or anything else attached. You could just use the battery that comes with it. So then here's the blanket itself. And there are definitely some cool things about this blanket. One of which you'll notice here, there are these little clips. So you can actually kind of wear this like a poncho. You can put it on yourself and you can clip it together, and then you can wear it like around your shoulders and stuff and keep yourself warm. I use mine in my rooftop tent, so that is what I'm using it for. But if you wanted to wear it around camp, you totally could do that. It's kind of got like a waterproof sort of cover on it, water resistant cover on it, and then it's fuzzy on the inside, which is really nice when you're sleeping. Now, when you're looking at the blanket, you open it up. What you're looking for is this black button here for power, and then you've got this cord. And then you've got this AC cable, which actually isn't for powering the blanket, it's for recharging the power bank. So you could take this cord and unplug it, plug this into the wall, and then plug this in and charge it off of your wall socket to recharge the battery. But with the DC plug, the nice thing is it has a female adapter on it, which fits with the blanket itself. So you could run this off any sort of power bank that you wanted to. You could run it off your vehicle if you wanted to. It gives you an option to do something besides just the battery, because then if you had like a bigger power bank, you could run this thing, you know, for much longer, which is really nice. But again, as I mentioned with the pocket here, the reason I kind of keep mine all tied up is because you don't need much cord if you're going to keep it in the pocket. But you can put the battery in here, plug in the battery just like that, and then zip it into the pocket, and then it's just kind of part of the blanket. Now obviously there's going to be, it's a fairly heavy little battery, so I put this down by my feet. Is kind of how I did it. But then it's part of the blanket. You can, you know, move it around, you could wear it like I said, or you could use it in your rooftop tent without having to have another power bank. Now to get the thing to come on, it is a little tricky. Okay, so what was a little confusing is that in the instructions it says to hold the power button for 3 seconds to turn the device on. So what I was doing was I was holding this button that's built into the blanket for 3 seconds and nothing was happening. What you really have to do is you hold the button on the power bank for 3 seconds to turn it on. You'll see this thing flash. And then you use this to control the temperature. So red is like hottest, orange is medium, and then white is the lowest. So you can flip through those. You can start on red at the highest if you want. Obviously your battery won't last as long. Hit it again, it goes to orange for medium. Hit it again, it goes to white for the lowest setting. But so you can cycle through the settings and the temperatures that you want the blanket to be at with that button, but you have to hold the power button on the power bank to turn on the blanket. So that was the only thing that was a little confusing, with just figuring that out. But once you get that, then you've got this thing, you throw it in your zip pocket and you're good to go. So then for the size of this blanket, I did want to hold it up just to show you. It is kind of like a throw blanket sized blanket. So I just wanted to kind of give you a good idea of how big this thing is. So I'm about 6'1", 6'2". You can see how wide it is. It is a good sized blanket. So right now it's down to about my shins. So I will put dimensions up here on the screen of how big this thing is so that you know. But again, overall, this thing is great. The first night that I actually used it, I turned on the heated part. It was a little chilly, and about the middle of the night, it warmed up a little bit, and I turned it off, and I just used it as a blanket, and it's plenty warm as just a blanket. So again, even if your battery bank wears out, even if you run out of power or whatever, you still have a nice blanket that you can use even if you didn't have power. So it's nice to have that as sort of a backup, maybe on top of some other blankets that you've got, something like that. This is a great option. But again, super, super nice. It gets really warm and hot when you turn on the heating elements, and it works great as just a blanket as well. All right, but so that will do it for the Zonli heated blanket. Again, this thing is really awesome for camping, fall stuff, maybe some early winter stuff. If you're adding it to a setup and you just want to have that comfort element of a heating element built into a blanket, it's a really good option. It's also really well built, and all the components are really nice. And I like the fact that it all fits into one bag that I can grab on the go if I need to and be good to go. So again, hopefully that was helpful for you. If it was, click that like button. If you have any questions or anything, comments, if you've used this blanket, post up in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. There will also be a link to the blanket. So if you're looking for this, something like this, or if you want to easily find it, you can click through that link. And then also in the description below will be links to all my social channels, so come join the conversation over there. There are also links to my website where I've got patches and stickers, funny camping, overlanding type patches and stickers, so check that out. And then last but not least, there is the Patreon group where we have a 24/7 Discord and we do a once-a-month call. It's a ton of fun. Tons of awesome people in that group. And then there's also the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group. Totally free to join. Tons of awesome members in there. If you're newer to camping, overlanding, you want to kind of learn more and not get berated for asking questions, that'd be a good place to join. So check it out. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.